Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today's the 24th of June. This is the afternoon update for the 24th of June. And would you look at this nice solid gap? Let me get rid of some of these lines. Our breakdown, flat down pattern never really happened today again. But pay attention to this volume data. We're getting much lighter volume on this breakaway. You can see down here, volume is diminishing, looks very similar to this breakaway island type of topping pattern right here. This is a common type of a gap up, stall, revert type of mode. We'll see if this actually plays out up here. This lower volume, while still not down in these levels, could very easily prompt a reversal back up over here. We are still in a weakening trend here on the crash index, which is moving downward this week. This is the crash index. We have gold moving down again this week. I picked up a couple of call options today near lows for gold and silver. The SPY pushing higher. This is the dollar index down around 97, 98. And you can see the crash index stalling out and rolling here into what may become a downtrend. Now, I'm not telling you that this is the peak or what have you. I'm just highlighting this very interesting diminishing volume area on a gap news. I would have thought news of Iran and Israel reaching a ceasefire and a gap like this would have prompted a pretty high volume ratio, traders getting back into the market. But you know what? I'm kind of under the belief right now that traders are very serious about staying away from this excess phase peak pattern. I think traders are really looking at, let's get through Q2 earnings. Let's see what happens. But let's stay cautious into Q3 because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. Now, with regard to the world and what's going on with Iraq and Iran and Israel, I need you guys to understand that they can continue to draw their own lines in the sand as often as they like. So even though we have news of a ceasefire right now, all it takes, in my opinion, is a couple more missiles and for either one of them to say, screw it, send a missile. And I think we'll be looking at the whole thing picking back up again. So gold and silver rolled down today quite extensively, held up above my support level on gold, got below my 33.50 area for silver. So I ended up buying down here near these lows, around 33 or 35.40, 35.45. I figured this was a pretty good stalling pattern for metals off of this fear transition. And I do believe we could be looking at, an upward move here quite nicely to the upside. Same thing here. After this panic selling, we could be looking at a nice move to the upside. So pay attention. I think we're looking potentially at a really good move here. We'll see how things hold up. Dow Jones was up 500 points. NASDAQ was up 300. S&P was up 6. Moderate. S&P wasn't up much, but Dow Jones was up quite a bit. Still 1%, 1.2%. Nothing huge, not 2 or 3%. Bitcoin's up at 105.5 again. Gold is trading, as you can see, at 33.67. Dollar is stagnating down here near the 98 level. And oil is, let's come back over here, take a look at oil. Breaking down. And again, could be a moderate exhaustion move here in oil, trying to get back down to that 56, 58 kind of area, maybe 60. So really, potentially moving down in this area for oil. Could be rather interesting. Okay, now tomorrow for the SPY cycle pattern, we have that's gold. We have a breakaway and carryover trend would lead us to believe that we're moving potentially into upward trending again. And then we have that rally and counter trend mode on Thursday and a rally and trending mode on Friday. We could easily try to push back up above these all-time highs over the next couple of days or touch this 613, 614 area over the next couple of days. Again, weakening volume leads me to believe that we're looking at, potentially some sort of a stalling type of a market trend. But, the momentum to the upside here has been, really solid. Now, also, there's been a lot of talk from people about, what my systems are doing. My systems went long right here on April 24th and have continued to stay long all the way through this move. So this dark green line here shows you where my systems went long and how long we've been staying in this trend. So we've been pretty much through this area all the way up. From this point onward, my proprietary modeling system, which is only available to subscribers, has been long on a daily chart. So you can see here that all of this has been bullish, 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 bullish. From that point onward, we have been in a very solid uptrend. We have had no indication of any weakening in trend on the daily chart. So you can see here, we've really caught quite a bit of this move to the upside with my technical systems and have stayed bullish all the way. I know a lot of you are saying, well, Brad, you keep saying that we're moving potentially down into a downtrend. Look, I'm telling you what the excess phase peak pattern is saying. I'm telling you what is likely to happen if this excess phase peak pattern does not invalidate, is that we would roll down, reach this low potentially, and try to reestablish a support level. That's still possible. Even if we get up here and invalidate, we can move up into this area, invalidate, find a new high, stall, revert, reject, and move all the way back down to this lower area. We've established these price lows. Failure at a new high would mean that we would roll back down. That's the way price works. Price, think of it like this. Price moves up, and if it reaches a failure point, it rolls and tries to reach a new low. Okay, that's how price works. It establishes new higher highs, new lower lows in an uptrend or a downtrend. And as soon as it fails to establish new higher highs or new lower lows in a trend, then it will revert and try to take out recent highs or lows. So if we were to revert tomorrow or this week, the lowest low that we would be taking out would be right here. That would be the low that we would be trying to eliminate to the downside. So if we stall and revert, we're looking at a move down to 593 pretty clearly. If we continue to rally, we'll set up some new highs, maybe a couple of new standout lows, and then eventually we may roll or not. We'll see how this market plays out. But again, I'm trying to tell you what I see, how it plays out, how it may play out, and what to look for. So right now, I'm looking for continued strength overnight in gold and silver. I think this is a big panic move. Could likely roll back up to 3,400 in gold or higher pretty quickly. Same thing with silver here. I think we could rally back up to 3,650 or higher. I'm looking for the S&P to move a little higher over the next 2 or 3 days. See if we get some sort of a topping pattern before we get into that rollover rally on the 26th. And I'm looking for Bitcoin to stall within this channel. You can see this channel here coming right across these highs. I believe we are likely going to see Bitcoin stalling in this area up above potentially the 106, call it 500 level. So probably 106, call it 450. We're going to get up into that area, in my opinion, rolling up into this area, stalling around 107, 500, and then potentially rolling downward. We will see. Okay, remember, I call what I see. That's what I'm telling you. I'm looking at price action. I'm not looking at indicators, not really looking at volume. I'm calling what I see in channeling and price direction. We have, as I've drawn here, new lower lows, coming back down over to here to new lower lows. So you can see here, we've got this rally, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This could break down into this downward move very cleanly, guys. Okay. Just going to see how it plays out. Okay, guys, more tomorrow morning. Thanks for following along.